And one thing I just wanted to mention
Yes.
too, what homestead is,
Oh,
right? And so when you own a property and it's your primary residence, you have the option or the right to go to the state and say, I claim this is my homestead. And they give you some exemption or basically a bit of a discount on some of those taxing entities and their values, right? So
yes.
it's a discount.
It's a discount, and the best thing about it is that 10% appraisal cap each year.
Right.
And so the goal of that is to, limit how fast your property taxes can increase. And so as soon as you buy your home, the best thing to do is file that homestead exemption so it can be put in place right away, because that then sets your future calculations for each year.
Right.
And then that third value is the taxable value, and that is your net appraised minus any other homestead or any other exemptions you have. So the city of Austin has a 20% exemption. The school districts have certain exemptions. And there's a number of other taxing jurisdictions that might provide some other type of exemption.
Right.
And so that's what you will get in the mail. And then that is, if you disagree with that number, that's when you start the protest process. And that involves, in Travis County, we really encourage everybody to do their appraisal property protest process online.
Okay.
A, it's just easier for you as a homeowner, and B, it does streamline the process and make it a little easier for the appraisal district to respond to the thousands of protests they'll get each year. And so you have a certain deadline to file your protest.
They typically give you about 2 weeks.
2 weeks,
right?
Yeah, yes. And so the deadline is May 15th, or I want to say it's 30 days after you get your notice of appraised value, whichever is later.
So if for some reason they come out past April 15th, then
yes,
you still get 30 days to file your protest.
Yes, yeah. But typically, Travis County, or sorry, TCAD sends it within that time frame, so that typically the May 15th is the deadline you need to worry about.
And people go online, right? You get your notice. You say, I disagree with this assessment, and you go online, and from there, what happens?
Yeah, so you'll go online, you'll file your protest. Before you file your protest even, you need to come up with ways to protest. So it's kind of a justification of why you think their value is too high and why you think, it should be lower.
Okay.
And there's several ways to do that. The best way, honestly, is to work with a trusted real estate professional like yourself.
Trusted. Thank you.
That can help pull some comps in the area to see, homes of similar sizes and ages, what they have sold for recently. And then that can be your kind of justification, and you'll submit that as backup when you file your protest. And then you'll go through the process. You'll get some kind of settlement offer, most likely from TCAD. You can schedule an informal hearing with a one-on-one appraiser to hear why they are justifying their decision or justifying their settlement offer to you, which could be lower. And then you can either accept that, or you can go to a formal hearing, which is in front of an arbitration board, which has three kind of citizens that
members of the community.
Members of the community.
I hear commercials on NPR asking people if they want to apply to be on the appraisal review board, right?
Yeah. And so it's essentially kind of like a mini court case. You as a homeowner present your case, the appraisal district will present their case, and then the board, the 3-member board, will make their decision.
Is there any risk? And so, for example, I get an assessment in the mail that says my house is worth $400,000 and I think it's worth $350,000. Is it possible I go in there and I protest, and then they come back with, oh, since now that you're here, we think your house is worth $450,000, and go up?
Yeah, no, that is a common myth that we need to make sure we demystify.
Okay, glad I asked.
The appraisal district cannot increase the value beyond what is listed on your notice of appraised value. So the only thing that can happen is that it can go down or it would stay the same. So there really is no risk to protest. Now, of course, if you are high, you can. There's several companies you can hire to protest your property taxes for you, and they range from free services to expensive services. And so, if you're fighting over, $5,000, $20,000, but you're going to pay somebody X amount, maybe it's not worth it to protest, but you don't need to hire somebody to protest your property appraisals. You can do that yourself.